Hello, my name is Joseph Romero. This is Breaking the Chains. I did want to talk today about religion in schools. Now, my very first thought on religion in schools is if you teach a broad variety of religions in schools from a outside aspect, I think that would be okay to teach like theology or something like in a bigger historical point of view, um, possibly as an elective if you want more understanding about it. Not, I don't think it should be mandatory. However, that's to be argued because um, people with ignorance of religion follow the wrong religion or follow religion blindly because they believe that's the word. That's exactly what needs to be going on, and um, and who interprets those religions is is more of an intimate thing in my opinion. So that's why I would say that it's up to your family, to you, to teach your children that way. If you want to indoctrinate your children into what you want, that's of course what we do as a society. However, I don't believe that you should be imposing that onto others. In a public setting, it's for everyone, and it comes down to don't mix your tax money with church money or with church needs, because basically there's a separation. Now, if the church starts paying taxes, then we could visit the situation. However, if the church is paying taxes, then they are going to want to say bigger than they already have. Now, I believe that there's a huge church lobby, that there is a huge amount of money that's right now being pushed into privatizing schools and making them more religious, driving a wedge in between the public schools because everyone who I know believes in God. I mean, not like, and I won't even say like a Christian God, but they believe in a God. And when you are basically pointing the finger at them, wagging it, and saying, "You don't believe in God. You don't want to teach children God." It drives a wedge because it's kind of like the abortion issue. Like nobody necessarily not like wants an abortion. They're not cheerleading for the shit. But there's going to be some aspects where it's necessary, and people don't want to talk about that. They want to make it like it's one giant bunch of horny chicks who got fucked over the weekend and are just popping the pill or aborting it. Like, I am certain that there are people like that everywhere around the world. However, you can't just blanket everyone because the statistics do show that when you do that, it's more harmful than is good. It's the same with prohibition of alcohol or prohibition of marijuana or drugs in general. It comes from a moralities point of view of what you feel is right. And when you're posing your morality on a blanket of individuals, you're going to have a tremendous amount of crime because not everyone shares your morality. And that's what it comes down to with putting religion in schools. That's where I stand from. Uh, the founding fathers in majority were not religious. The pilgrims came here from freedom of religious persecution. Those are things that are celebrated. And I say again, if you wanted a Muslim class mandatory by paying for Christians with Christian money so that they could teach you the Quran, I'm certain that you wouldn't like that. Now, in a in the in a democracy, I suppose if it's a town and that school is every single person in that town is basically Christian and they want it, that would be the only way I would see it basically being in a public school. However, uh, majority rules, but our constitution protects minorities. So like you can't just uh, or our laws protect minorities. So you can't just you know, put that's the same reason you can't have an all white school, right? Because minorities have the protection. Um, because if you single one out, you're impinging on their rights as a human being and their constitutional rights, etc. That being said, um, when it comes down to it, I believe it's a wedge issue. I believe that the simple matter is that you shouldn't mix the two. If you want to teach religion, go to a private school. There's plenty of Catholic schools, religious schools you can go to. Um, do they cost money? Well, why don't you ask your church for help? You know, um, I don't know what else. That's about it for now. Have a good day. My name is Joe. This is Breaking the Chains.